What's going on, traders? John with Tactical Trading here with our OTC Saturday video. Pretty rough week in the OTC. Not much run. We had a couple of runners, and one of them we are going to talk about. Pretty excited about going into next week. One we're going to start talking about right now is one that we have actually talked about quite a bit on the channel, and this is Humble Inc. Let's take a look here. Going here to OTC markets, we're going to start here with Humble. Had a great day today, up 47% today, closed at 59 cents on 26 million in volume. If we look at the chart here, this thing has been absolutely destroyed. I mean, right here, this is when we had the huge run up. Pre-split, we had a 4-to-1 split. Pre-split, we had ran to about $1.80 something, right in that range. Over $7 post-split. This thing has been just absolutely decimated. Ran down to 40 cents today. Just yesterday, I put out a tweet saying Humble was oversold. First time I've tweeted about Humble in a couple months. Just saw that this thing has just been beaten down, and that was at about 46 cents. This morning, this thing dipped down to 40 cents. And right on cue, George Sharp comes in and tweets that these guys could be going OTC, or he would be surprised if these guys were not OTC QB within the next few months. So, and he said more to come as well too next week. Also, Humble being there on right around 60 cents. I still think this is a buy, but being up 47%, I do think we can get some type of pullback on here, maybe down to 50 cents or so before this thing rips back up. But I think this is an over $1 stock just on the prospects of what they have going on alone. The being in the crypto market and being that PayPal is losing market share, to competitors, Humble may be in a prime position to step in over the next few years and really take advantage of some of that market share that's been slipping away. So I absolutely love Humble long term. This is something that, in my estimation, 3-4 years down the line, you can be looking at a $5 to $15 stock. I mean, I'm not making any, trying to make any absurd price targets, but this thing has a bright future, has good leadership, and we've been on this since a quarter of a penny, and yeah, I think this thing has a very bright future. So very bullish on Humble. And, I do think maybe Monday or Tuesday, because of the holiday, we may get a little bit of a pullback, and this thing might be a prime time to take a position here. Again, I am not a financial advisor, but this is, I have a strong feeling Humble's going to be, by this time next year, 3 or 4 times this price. So if not more. So let's move on to another play. And this is a little speculation play, GFTX. And GFTX, let's take a look here. Closed down 5% at 0.0045. We actually alerted this on Twitter at 0.0038 and 0.0042. This thing is just, really no volume. If we look here, came out of the expert market, had some excitement, some volume came in. Thing ran all the way up to about 85, and then just over the last few days, it just completely died out. Over the last about week, 5 trading days or so, it's been just fizzled out. Very little volume. Despite the CEO tweeting, they have a deal with Mastro Entertainment out of Knoxville, Tennessee. They're talking about, first it was to be a joint venture, and now they're talking about acquiring or something with the facility that they have to make NFTs out of this facility. They did have a 10Q come out. They're broke. So how they're going to pay for that, I really want to, and I think that's what a lot of investors are, kind of looking at it. How are they going to acquire this? What are they using to acquire this? It's interesting. This is a very interesting play. Let's take a look at the share structure. And it's like they don't really have any assets. They only have shares to give up. And if you really look, at with the authorized shares at 2.5 billion, even if they were to you know, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, they got 1.4 billion outstanding. Um, Again, I'd like to see how they're going to structure this deal. I mean, obviously, this is a startup company, so I mean, what do you expect from them, anyways? You know, they're coming out of the expert market, so I mean, it's not like a shot at any. You know, most of these companies out here don't have a lot of cash on hand, anyways, and this is a startup. What I do like about it, you can watch one of my other videos. These guys are getting into the NFT, NFC. NFC being non-fungible clothing, non-fungible tokens. They do have Brett Favre in the fold, Warren Sapp, Youngblood, Run DMC, connections throughout the music industry. So this is a play. I mean, if you want to stash this thing away for a little while, I mean, I don't know about getting any major pops. I think the deal closes. They're doing a fairness, a fairness perspective right now. They said it should take 2 weeks. They said the deal should close in January. So we're looking at a month and a half, maybe 2 months of kind of. And I'm sure the CEO is going to be tweeting, but it doesn't seem to be really much interest retail as far as this one. So you kind of got to be careful with this one. I still like it. I think this is more of a little bit of a longer term play. I like the idea. It's in a cool little niche. I think if this thing catches fire, being that it has held up pretty well. I mean, if you look, we can take a look here at the chart, kind of stair stepping its way up, and it's kind of made a new support here. I mean, obviously this thing went up to 171 and then just collapsed. Came out of the expert market, but you could see right before it made right here at 40, it kind of made its high, went back down, came out of the expert market, went all the way up to 85, and now it's kind of bouncing off that 40 area. So this old resistance has now become support. I'd like to see this hold and grind its way up. If volume comes in, this thing can fly. This thing can easily break a penny, if not better. So and if the CEO, this guy he's if you look at his background, I mean, I don't know the guy personally. I couldn't vouch for him, obviously, but he has a background with Johnson and Johnson and some other, some major companies. So, if this guy pulls this off, this thing can be huge the first half of 2022. So definitely keep an eye on this one. No volume now, so you're not going to be able to grab big chunks. If you're going to be getting in this one, you might want to bid sit a little bit. If it starts running, you don't want to go after this thing with size, because you're gonna knock this thing up 20, 30 points. Good for me, I'm holding shares, but you're just gonna knock this thing up 15, 20, 30 points, and then if someone might come in and sell on you, and then now you're bagged 15 points. Well, I don't think it's a big deal if you're looking for a long-term hold, but you see what I'm saying. You don't really have to overpay for this thing. There's not much retail interest in it right now, so but keep an eye on it, because once some retail interest gets in on this thing can move, and may move very quickly. So definitely one I really like, GFTX. Moving forward, we're going to move to, I don't even know why I'm putting this up, because there's really no information here on OTC markets, but just for the sake of, we got the stock here. GVSI, we're going to look at the chart. You can see this chart's an absolute beauty. Obviously minus this little blip right here from the expert market. Other than that, if you look, this thing is absolutely flagging, obviously minus the huge run up. I mean, if it wouldn't have went on expert market, this thing may have just, continued to, going, but, this thing's coming off of expert market soon. Next couple weeks, I would imagine. My estimation, probably next week, the week after. Next week's Thanksgiving, so probably the following week. But it could be a little more delayed than that. I'm not really sure. But I'm expecting very soon, and then I'm expecting fireworks. So keep your eye on GVSI. We don't know who's merging in here, but it is a blockchain-related company. Same thing with GOFF Corp. No response from server. I don't know what you're talking about. There we go. We got GOFF. And this one as well too. keep an eye on this one. I like GVSI a little better, but this one has a better share structure. Very similar chart. I mean, if you really look at it, this one at 16 cents, but it's got a better share structure. So I don't know who they get. This one's going to be a blockchain one as well too. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Moving forward, right now, my favorite blockchain play. This is Fern Corporation. Closed at 0.0329, up 5% today. Had a pretty strong day on 13.3 million volume. If we take a look at the chart here, pretty much got a beat down after the merger news with Main Block. And you can see, I mean, we've been on this thing since way back down here, and had a video actually right here at the exact bottom. But we've loved this thing all the way up. Still love it. I think this thing has major potential here. Looks like it may double bottom. I mean, this is not really. I mean, it might come down a little bit more. So 3 may be a double bottom here. Actually, it's going to be a little lower than 3. These numbers are off. Probably about 260, 270. Probably 260 or 270. But either way, I think it could pull back a little bit. I think Fern could pull back into the high 2s without news. It could go the other way and pull right into the mid 4s. Long term, this is a play I'm not going to be selling probably nothing in my position for probably quite some time. In fact, let's take a look here. Let's go to the Fern Corp. Let's go to the press release. And they just had an acquisition not long ago of Perfect Mine. And then right here on November 15th, it says Fern is pleased to announce that it has completed its acquisition of Main Block, a groundbreaking digital asset trading platform servicing both banks and hedge funds. Now, how this news is overlooked is beyond me. A lot of these, I think it's just because the OTC was down. If this news would have hit a year ago from right now, maybe January or last year, if this would have hit in June or July of this year, right now this might be trading at 7, 8, 9, maybe 12 cents. I like MJWL. I really like MJWL. I like this better. I think this is an American company. The second to none as far as leadership, as far as in this blockchain area. If you look, CEO Mark Lasky of Fern, they went after these guys. Chris Kern, as we all know, is the advisor. If we take a look here at, I want to take a look here at the leadership here at some of the guys they because they took on this Main Block and kept the leadership from Main Block in Fern. So this just makes the company that much stronger. In fact, Ryan Kuiken, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Forgive me for not pronouncing that right. That's Kuiken, Kuiken, I would imagine. He actually, let's see here, long history in the DeFi. Peter Boards, so Kuiken and Boards are on board now. Peter Boards is Main Block's chairman, 30-year plus technology entrepreneur. He's the CEO of Kubient KBNT on the NASDAQ, so he's the CEO of a NASDAQ company. He's also the interim CEO for Alphi Technologies on the NASDAQ, ALFI. He's also servicing on the board of directors of BBGI. So this guy's serving on either the board of directors, interim CEO of 3 different NASDAQ companies. And now he's on board with Fern. And now we have a crypto mining operation here in Fern. We have now a crypto trading platform. They're talking about getting more crypto assets into the holding company going forward. It still has its patent technology, which it can either sell for more assets, so it doesn't have to obtain or take on debt. These guys are in a really good position. They're talking about uplisting to NASDAQ. I'm pretty sure that's pretty far down the line. I've had absolutely no contact with these guys as far as personally with the the management, but I probably will be making a if you reach out a little bit just to see if we can get some contact going here. I definitely like to get an interview with these guys somehow or another, either on Spaces or on YouTube, over the next few months. Maybe even just after the holidays, starting into the beginning of next year, because I really think we have a really, really, really bright future, especially a bright 2022 here with Fern Hill Corporation. This is probably right now. I love GVSI, love ILS, obviously. GVSI, we don't know who's rolling in though, so I'm loving the speculation. I'm betting more on George Sharp more than I'm betting on the ticker. Look, you could say what you want. Tickers that I like, these Frank tickers, and you can see the war on YouTube, Frank versus George versus Frank, and Frank got his guys, George got his guys. I've stayed out of it. I really don't. I care less either way. But look at Frank's tickers right now. They had their run. George's are down. Franks are tanking right now, and Georges are going up. It's an ebb and flow, okay? In the end, if I had to put my money on one of the two, I'm putting my money on George Sharp. You can say what you want. My money feeds my kids. My money pays for my my castle, my home. So, and my money's betting on George Sharp. So, GOFF one I look at, GVSI is one I look at. The only Frank ticker right now that I even have an eyeball on is JPEX. JPEX right now, very cheap. We will have a video on that, and AAPT, two mergers that I do like, along with AVVH. There's three mergers that I really like. They may take a lot longer than we anticipated as far as playing out and really running, but I eventually do think they will run. Money's going to pour back into the OTC. It's inevitable. Money's still here, but I think we're going to get a flush. We're going to find out who the real companies are. The ones who are diluting, the ones who are still doing this nonsense, they're going to get flushed out. They're going to be gone sooner than later, and I can promise you that. Excuse me one second. We gotta take a sip of coffee. But they're gonna get flushed out by the end of spring, early summer next year. I know the OTC gets slow at that time, but we're gonna have a small crop of tickers going into the seasonally hot time of OTC of 2023. So I think we're gonna really see some of these tickers just explode next year. There's gonna be some of these are some good ones to stash away. I do still think we get a pop towards the beginning of next year in January and February. I don't think we really get this OTC bull run that people are talking about as far as the same as last year. I think what we're getting that is from a lot of traders that haven't been around for more than 2 or 3 years. It's not always. There's years that the OTC's dead for 6-7 months, so it happens. The OTC's not dead. It's just in a quiet phase, and it did this again in the spring last year. So, what are you gonna do? It's gonna be fine, and there are plays to be had. If you're saying it's dead, then you're not looking hard enough, because there's plays that are running, and in fact, this is one of them. And this is OSCI. Osceola Gold, 18 cents, was down big today, 46%. Actually, I think this is a beautiful opportunity, down 46%. First, we're going to take a look here at the security details. Beautiful share structure, authorized shares at 298 million. Right around the same outstanding shares, with 175 million restricted, leaving us only 122 million on the unrestricted shares. If we take a look at the chart here, we got us a pretty decent grinding chart. This thing came out of the expert market and just absolutely exploded. Ran all the way up to over 37 cents. In fact, the high of I can't get the high. Oh no, ran to a high of 36.50. So right about 37 cents. Today, and we're making this video late on Friday night, even though it is OTC Saturday. This thing popped up to 37.80 and then precipitously just dumped. Now, people were expecting news. Again, with this beautiful share structure, this thing can absolutely rip and run. They are talking that this thing could be sitting on the land that they have. They can be sitting on an estimated I'm not sure is that what is it, 2.2 to almost 3.5 billion dollars of gold as far as gold reserves. So that is absolutely astronomical. Now, let's take a look here. Now, I'm going to go to a little article that just came out today about OSCI from Microcap Daily. Hit on a few points here. These guys did announce. Now, the reason why they crashed is they came out with a tweet, and the tweet said, now people were expecting to get those gold numbers, the reserve numbers. And what they ended up getting was that they had a TV deal or a streaming TV deal for a gold rush type deal. People evidently didn't like that. Finicky traders, that's it. And plus it was up so much, people said, forget about it, I'm just going to take my profits. So same thing happened with WSCR, I believe the ticker is. This thing ran up to whatever it was, 30 cents, dropped down to 10 cents the next day, and then the following 3 or 4 days ran up to 50 cents. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, and I do think this is a better, longer-term play. I think this thing has more potential just because of the aspects that's going on here. And this article kind of hits on it. With this deal, this could be a gold rush. Now, we don't know. We don't know if this is actually a gold rush show. If it is, this is huge. This is absolutely astronomical. The company that they're doing business with, and I'm going to go to that right here. And this is WST Global Pictures. WST Global Pictures has ties right here with Netflix, Discovery, A&E, Discovery Family, YouTube, Animal Planet, Sony Pictures, Universal Studio, so on and so forth. So this is the real deal. This is the company they signed with to do their documentary or their reality series with. And this is with gold mining. So let's just take a step back and put on our thinking caps here. First off, they get a deal with WST Global Pictures to do a show on mining gold. Now, in order to mine gold, you got to have gold in the ground. I'm sure these TV shows have done their due diligence and said, well, we better get a company that's probably going to pull some gold out of the ground and not just dirt and rocks. So that's, okay, now we'll take our thinking caps back off and let that calculate a second. So now they got WST Global Pictures here, who has ties in with the companies that actually did Gold Rush. So I am not saying this is Gold Rush. Let's just think a little here. Now we can go to the afternoon news, where they said they had a deal with Sonova Equipment. And Sonova Equipment, this deal with Sonova Equipment will ramp up their mining speed 3 times. So now they're going to be moving at 3 times the speed with the deal that they have with Sonova Equipment. And now who is Sonova Equipment? This is a company that was founded in 1988. And then over the last 32 years, they have developed a team with combined experience of over 100 years in the mining industry. The company has continually grown its customer base and has shipped equipment to over 50 countries worldwide. No joke, right? Now, if these guys are going to get involved, put the cap back on. If these guys are going to get involved, company with over 30 years experience worldwide, so this is an international company, world-renowned. Their main niche is obviously mining, but gold mining. So if these guys are going to get involved, and there's going to be a partnership here for obviously some type of partnership where they're going to be putting their name on the show, and in turn they're probably going to lease their equipment. I don't know the deals, but I'm just thinking if I was negotiating a deal, that's what I would do. So they're probably going to get their name put on the show, and in turn they're going to lease their equipment to this company. Now, let's also go back to connecting the dots here to this article. If this show is even close to a gold rush or anything, they're going to be getting anywhere from 10 to 25,000 per episode to the company. I don't know how many. I don't know, maybe 10 to 18 shows per episode. So you're talking about some pretty decent operational income coming into the company that is absolutely not coming from shares. It is non-dilutive. So this is funds coming in just from them, from people bringing their cameras and putting it on, putting the cameras on them. Now, so we have this mining company or this mining equipment company just signing on to this, Sonova Equipment, since 1988. They've been around a few days. We have this WST Global Pictures, who obviously has a lot of connections, Netflix, Discovery, A&E, and so forth. Now, they're in the fold. So, and now we got this little old OTC company that right now is only 18 cents, possibly sitting on over $2 billion worth of gold. And we get those reserves on Monday morning. Very excited to see how that turns out Monday. And we got a beautiful share structure. So this is not an alert to buy. This is just telling you, keep an eye on this puppy and do your research on this one. This is one I am imploring you do your research. There's a lot of stocks I've gotten beat up on, ILIS, and I tell you, ILIS ran to 18, dropped down to 4, and I still told you buy that sucker. There's not very many stocks I get like a big rush of conviction on. Fern Corp's one of them. I'm gonna tell you that right now. GVSI, it's because of George Sharp. It's not the stock. I really have faith that George is going to pull through here. I really do. And we're going to see some nice plays. I'd also keep an eye on GOFF. This one right here, I got a gut feeling about. I just got a gut feeling about, now take it for what it's worth. My gut's been absolutely crap the past month. So we've had a crap month, you know what I mean? In OTC land. So, the only thing saving grace has been a few of these big runners and a few nice big board plays, but we haven't even been talking about them on the channel or on Twitter. So we may start putting out some more content. I got some ideas coming, but we'll talk about it at another time. So this is that's all I got for you. I'm telling you, take a look at this one, OSCI. Dig into it. It's got a lot of stuff going on for a company with a very, very low float for an OTC. Very low market cap with a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just think if this thing plays out and they get that TV show, it is a gold rush or some spinoff. I mean, if you look at the demographic from males from 25 to 54 years old, I think the third watched shows are these it's what it is. I mean, they're very watched. I think there's 3 shows on Discovery with these gold mining companies, and they're right up on the top of their 25 shows. They're right up there in the top 15 with all these shows, or top 10, something like that. So, there's going to be revenue coming in from this show. Obviously there's gold in the ground, or these people would not be interested. They have the reserves for Monday. They're pretty confident in putting them out. I'm very excited to see how this one pans out. So definitely keep a close eye on this one. And again, my top long-term player right now is Fern Corporation. After that merger, I see them building something very, very nice over there with Fern. It might take a while to play out, but that's something I'm stashing. That's in the vault, man. We're locking that one. So that's all I got for you today. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. And as always, traders, let's get that money.